Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll be having an update on the system late next week, which could bring maybe possibly a big winter storm for across parts of the Dakotas in Minnesota. This power change can also bring in widespread below average temperatures across parts of the central and eastern United States as well, and also bringing in more snow chances and a better setup for some lake effect snow across the Great Lakes as well, and also for the potential for some very gusty showers as well across these regions, mainly in parts of the Ohio Valley, maybe into parts of the Tennessee Valley, back into parts of the Midwest, and maybe even for parts of the Northeast as well. So we're going to get started with the GFS model here, and what we got going on right now is that we got a system that's entering the northwest, bringing in some snow in the higher elevations, showers at lower elevations. But really the biggest story today has been this system here over by the Carolinas and Georgia, and this has been bringing some big-time coastal flooding issues. I've seen several pictures of some pretty bad coastal flooding at just north of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Cherry Grove. Um, has seen some coastal flooding issues as well. Not only that, they've been experiencing some high winds and uh, not a whole lot of rainfall. Models have trended a little back further to the east, so the threat has kind of decreased a little bit, but the coastal flooding threat will still stick around despite the lower chance of higher winds and heavy rainfall. But either way, so going to bring impacts along the east coast. Still a decently strong coastal low system as well, but eventually it should move off to sea here as well away from the United States here. Not expecting that to become a tropical system as well. But actually, speaking of tropical systems here, we have never talked about this yet. And if we actually check out the tropics right now, we got a system out there. Tropical Storm Wanda. This has actually been out there for several days. It actually, I believe it started out here in this region here. This is also the same storm system that brought in a big nor'easter for the northeastern United States, bringing in some high winds for Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. This is still that same storm system, and it's actually became a tropical storm as well. And it's expected to move out to sea, so no threat to land as well. But this is also the last name on the hurricane season list, and we're not expecting any more tropical systems after this. So hurricane season's almost over, folks, pretty much. So that's all we got really going on in the tropics. Haven't talked about that in a while. All right, going back to the GFS model here. Here comes another big system moving in across the northwest. You guys up there will be experiencing definitely periods of showers in the lower elevations and higher elevations. Could be at times some heavy snow in those mountains. Even some high winds as well. You guys will just be seeing multiple rounds of that as well. And with that initial wave there, at least the second wave, I should say, look at this here. The GFS model here, getting into Thursday here, early Thursday morning. You got a strong low in southeastern Minnesota. And look at the backside of it. Northwestern Minnesota, eastern North Dakota. Heavy snowfall in the warm sector where these isobars are close together. That's where you get some stronger winds towards the surface here. And that could certainly be an issue here across parts of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, maybe as far south as parts of the Tennessee Valley as well. And you can see here, really, the pressure really drops as well. In 6 hours, it's already down to another 85 millibars. And at this point here, it's possibly blizzard conditions on the wintry side of things. Mainly in the warm sector here, could be a pretty line of gusty showers there as well. Now, the good news with this here is we're not expecting any severe weather out of this because of the fact that we have the lack of instability, which is also known as CAPE. And also, the dew points will be pretty low as well. We're talking about dew points in the upper 40s to low 50s. Usually, you will want dew points in the low 60s for really thunderstorms in general. And we're talking about dew points in the upper 40s to low 50s. So, definitely not favorable for severe weather on this setup here, which is good news. However, if you go in the upper levels here at 850 millibars here, which we'll probably be able to check this out here. I'm not sure if this site here has a product. Yes, it does. If we go up a little bit higher up, so this is 850 millibars, and this is what we call vorticity. Vorticity is energy. Check out along this frontier. You got these pockets here of higher pieces of energy. And this is something we need to pay attention to because these showers here will be a little bit more energetic. Plus, you got a stronger low of a jet as well, and this could lead to a line of some pretty gusty showers and maybe a couple of thunderstorms as well mixed in there. And I cannot really say how strong these winds would be for right now, especially when we do not really have the higher layer solution models in this event just yet. But I will definitely say here there may be that risk for a line of gusty showers, and these may continue on for a long time, which as we kind of continue to play this here, you can definitely see here that same line there, just about 12 hours later, it's already up into parts of the northeast as well. Seems like it's kind of backed off the threat just a little bit on the GFS run. Actually, if we go back a little bit more here, back to Wednesday, you can definitely see here there's a lot of vorticity along that frontal boundary as well. So your gusty shower or thunderstorm threat kind of starts back off across parts of the plains, the mid-Mississippi River Valley, and eventually by Thursday afternoon, it's now up to parts of the Ohio Valley. So you're talking about this region here may need to watch for that potential gusty, a line of gusty showers and possibly a couple thunderstorms as well. So we do need to pay attention to that as well. All right, let's go back to reflectivity here. And then again, Thursday afternoon here, still got probably at this point here blizzard conditions for northern Minnesota. You can definitely tell those isobars are close together, and even going up to parts of Canada as well. Here's your trailing front here. You got your occluded front up here. Your cold front goes all the way down back to the Mexico border here. So this is a really big system here when you think about it. And here's your warm front out here as well. And that cold front goes from parts of southern Canada all the way down to Mexico. Pretty impressive there. And behind this cold front here, it's much cooler air as well. You can definitely see there with the 540 line getting down as far as south as parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas, even getting further to the south there, Mississippi, Alabama, that could certainly lead to some below average temperatures. Now, another thing we do need to pay attention to, though, is that the front will start to slow down a little bit. That's going to be because a low may try to develop along that front. You can see here on the GFS model here, a low does develop along that front. It could be another coastal low threat for parts of the East Coast. So we'll have to pay attention to that as well. It's a very common setup here, especially last winter here. We had that common setup here where you got a big low across parts of the upper Midwest. Front slows down, a low develops along that front as well. So we do have to pay attention to that as well. Meanwhile, pretty much during the night of Friday, look at the Great Lakes region. You got some um, rain and snow showers going up the going up to the Great Lakes region. I don't know why it took me a while to say that. But anyways, you guys will be seeing lake effect rain and snow showers, and this may continue on for a good period of time because those sea surface temperatures on the Great Lakes, or on the lakes I should say, are pretty warm. So we can certainly see some of that as well. And then as we kind of get into Sunday night, here comes a clipper system here, bringing in some widespread light snow for the Great Lakes region as well. You can definitely see it. There's your low pressure system popping up in parts of the southern part of Canada there. That's going to bring it around to some light to moderate snow across those regions as well. Maybe we'll get as far south as parts of the higher elevations in North Carolina. So certainly going to watch for that as well. Let's check the Canadian model here for a preference. And you can see a pretty similar situation here. You get a big uh, low here somewhere around the Minnesota region. You got 988 millibar low on the backside of it. Likely some blizzard conditions here. Those isobars are pretty darn close to each other. Likely going to be some pretty strong winds on the backside of it. Meanwhile, in the warm sector here, you got this line of some pretty gusty showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms as well. It'll also be windy without thunderstorms or showers as well. See here that low continue moves off to the northeast, and your front kind of stalls out here as well. And then again, we have to watch to see if a low tries to develop, which it actually does. There's your low here that develops along the front here. Behind that low, we'll bring in another round of some cooler air as well. And here comes a Clipper system here coming behind that as well, which could bring in widespread rain and snow showers across parts of the Midwest and Great Lakes in the Ohio Valley as well. But then again, that may change here. That's getting a little far out as well. But either way, it seems like we're going to see a big system here later next week here, especially up into parts of the upper Midwest region. Could certainly see uh, some active weather up there from this system here as well. And then if we, I'm not sure if the site here has this too. Yes, it does. And then again here, like I was talking about here, with 850 millibars with the vorticity here, you can see there's plenty of energy along the front as well. As we kind of continue on here as well, could certainly be a line of very gusty showers here, really coming from up to parts of northern Michigan down to parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. Could be a long line of some gusty showers as well, and you can see here that continues to move on to the northeast. It actually continues to move on as well to make things interesting. It actually goes throughout most of the northeast as well. So it kind of starts off back into parts of the southern plains here, the central plains as well. And it goes through parts of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, Tennessee Valley, and eventually to parts in the northeast. So that's certainly going to be very interesting as well. And then again, you can see that big system up across parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin here. Definitely got a lot of energy with it as well. So certainly a system here we're going to have to watch for as well. In the meantime here, let's kind of change these over here to total snowfall accumulations. Um, Alright, so here's the icon model. This is the latest running icon model here at the time of making this video. As we kind of continue on here, big systems hit the northwest, and then again, a very similar scenario here. You got big, possibly a cutoff low as well, across parts of Minnesota here. Heavy snow with very gusty winds on the backside of that. I mean, check that out. The isobars are really close together, and within that is some heavy snow. Could certainly be the possibility for some blizzard conditions there as well. And then you can see here that front kind of stalls out as well, and then a low pressure system may try to develop along that front as well. You can definitely notice there's that line of some gusty showers and thunderstorms across parts of the lower Ohio Valley. That continues moves on the northeast as well. So that's the icon outlook for you. It definitely develops that low pressure system a little bit early on as well. So we definitely got to watch for that as well. With that low developing on that front there, could certainly be interesting as well. Alright, let's check out the European model solution here for a preference. And you can see here, the low pressure system is a little bit further to the west here, or mid-east. Low pressure system over upper Michigan and northern Wisconsin here doesn't show as much as a way of snow on the backside of it as well. Actually, a little bit on the dry side as well. Meanwhile, in the warm sector here, some pretty gusty winds as well. Those isobars are very close together. And along that front there is a line of gusty showers and thunderstorms as well. Those will continue to move on quickly to the northeast. And as we move on to Thursday night here, your low pressure system is up in parts of southern Canada on the north side of it, near blizzard conditions, heavy snow as well. And then as we kind of get into Friday here, check out the Midwest, Great Lakes region. Uh, Widespread scattered showers mixed in with some snow as well. So that's going to be very interesting. And eventually that moves out as well. But you also do notice here, check out the Great Lakes again. Active lake effect rain and snow showers as well. I think a lot of areas in the Great Lakes region can certainly see a lot of snow, especially if you live beside the lakes region as well. At least one of the lakes. And let's check out the GFS Ensembles here. And you can see here, this is just the mean here out of 20 members here. And you can see here, you got a pretty strong low up there as well. With a pressure, get down as low as 91 millibars. So definitely a pretty strong low as well. This doesn't show snowfall on this map here. I do not have access to that But then again, the warm sector here, definitely a line of some gusty showers and thunderstorms, really from parts of Indiana, Ohio, down to parts of Mississippi and Louisiana. That continues moves on to the northeast as well. That's pretty much it there. And then let's talk about the snowfall side of things here. So this is the snowfall for the next 10 days from the GFS model here. Check out northern Minnesota. Get a different color out here. Check out northern Minnesota here. That is at least 2 feet of snow. That may be a little bit overdone there for the snowfall totals, but that's still going to be a lot of snow either way. Check out the Great Lakes region. Sorry, a lot of snow could be coming for the Great Lakes region as well. You can definitely see here some isolated 6+ inches of snow as well for some areas, but it's generally a widespread 1 to 3 inches as well for a lot of regions as well. And as we check out the Canadian model here, we'll go out to the next 10 days with this as well. Talk about a lot of snow for parts of the upper Midwest, checking out parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota. Could certainly be anywhere from 6 to possibly 12 inches of snow with isolated 14 to 16 inches of snow. Sorry, going to be a lot out there. And then, of course, you got the Great Lakes region. Really, generally 1 to 4 inches of snow with isolated 4 to 7 inches of snow as well. So certainly going to be a lot of snow for those areas as well. Check out the icon model here. It doesn't go as far out as the other two models. Only goes out 180 hours instead of 240. But you can definitely see on the back side of that low here. Still, then again, a lot of snow. Really a general 5 to 8 inches of snow with isolated 10 to 12 inches of snow as well. So certainly a lot of snow for those regions as well. And as we check out the European model here, where it has that low a little bit further to the north and east, check out that bullseye up in Canada there. That's about 2 to 3 feet of snow. So there are some uncertainties here with the placement here, but either way, looks like there's going to be a big system in parts of the upper Midwest that could bring in uh, near blizzard conditions somewhere on the backside of that system there, depending on the placement. Uh, a line of gusty showers and thunderstorms along the cold front in the warm sector region. So this is definitely a system we need to really pay attention to as well here, especially for parts of the upper Midwest here. This could be a big time snowstorm for you guys here. Really the potential is there as well. We'll check out the mean here from the uh, Gfs Ensembles here. Then again, this is the mean of 20 members here. And you can see here the mean is pretty high for this far out. I mean, you got a mean of about a foot of snow. That's a pretty good mean there, if you ask me, there as well. And you can definitely see the Great Lakes region. Uh, Definitely will see some activity as well. So certainly a system here we need to pay attention to as well. So we'll certainly watch Minnesota in the Dakotas as well here for that blizzard potential as well. Certainly something to watch. Let's talk about a little bit in the longer range here. We'll actually go back to 6 to 10 days here. So this is for the 6 to 10 day temperature probabilities here from the Climate Prediction Center here. You can see a pretty good chance of above normal temperatures across the west here. And you also got the chance of below average temperatures really from the Great Lakes region down to parts of the Gulf Coast states as well. A little bit on the warmer side for the New England states as well. If you look into precipitation anomalies here, maybe a better opportunity for some above normal precipitation across parts of the northeast and also across parts of the north. Meanwhile, for parts of the central and southern plains, the deep south into parts of the southwest, looking pretty dry. And then we look to 8 to 14 days there, pretty much the same thing here. The cold kind of shifts a little further to the east. And if we check out precipitation here, it looks pretty dry across most of the United States here. Really the only area that could see the chance of wetter than normal conditions could be parts of the Dakotas, Wyoming, and Montana as well. Let's check out the CFS model here, and this is for the next, really from today, well, really for the next week or so, you could put it that way. And this is what we're currently going to see here over the next couple days here. So a couple things to mention here is that looks like there will be a ridge across parts of the desert southwest, ridge across parts of the northeast. You got a strong negative EPO out here as well, which is leading to a strong ridge just to the west of Alaska here. You also got a negative PDO as well, which is certainly going to lead to cooler than normal conditions for the northwest. And really, the AO and the NAO is going to be on the positive side as well, which is not good news for winter lovers here. Really, what this does here is makes most of the United States on the warmer side. Really, the only areas we'll see the colder side of things will be in the northwest and probably parts of Florida as well, far southeastern part of the United States as well. But then things start to change here for the next 8 to 14 days here. This is where things get pretty interesting here. Teleconnection wise, there's going to be a positive PNA setting up across the west. Now the negative PDO does become a little bit weaker as well, which is some good news. Still got that negative EPO just to the west of Alaska as well. However, the NEO will be positive still, and that's the same with the AO as well. And really, what's favorable for a colder winter pattern for the eastern United States is the positive PNA and the positive EPO. Despite it having a positive NAO by Greenland and a positive AO by really around the Arctic Circle, and with the negative PDO, the positive EPO and the positive PNA will really take over because those factors are a little bit stronger than the other ones. So those would kind of take over the pattern a little bit. There's also a ridge of high pressure just off to the northeast here as well. Well, really off to the northeast parts of the Nova Scotia area as well. Newfoundland, Canada as well. Off to the northeast there will be a ridge of high pressure. So this kind of leads to a little bit more of a colder pattern for the eastern United States as well. And then when you go to days 15 to 21, it's kind of a similar situation here, but the negative PDO becomes a little bit more positive as well. This trough here starts to move further off to the west here. This will be good news for snow lovers as well. That kind of gets the negative PDO out of the way here. So at this point here, you got a blocking pattern across Alaska in the western United States. That's a green light. However, for Greenland in the Arctic Circle area, it's not really favorable for uh, colder than normal conditions for the United States here in general. But there's still that ridge of high pressure just off to the northeast of Nova Scotia and now in Newfoundland as well. So, which may help influence that blocking pattern as well, just a little bit as well. It also kind of helps a little bit sink some of that cold air a little further south here in between these ridges as well. So that'll be also be interesting to watch as well. So really, late November, it's looking to be a pretty cold pattern for the eastern United States as well. So certainly an early winter is likely this year for the eastern United States. And then things start to change here for days 22 through 28, which gets into early December. The blocking pattern's not really there anymore as much. You still got the ridge over Alaska. There's a ridge across the southwest. You still got the ridge off to the east of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. But then you start to see this big trough start to move to the south as well. But then again, this may change here. This is still a little far as well. But either way here, it definitely looks like we may see at least a periodic blocking pattern here for the eastern United States here. Well, in other words here, we may actually go backtrack a little bit for what I said there. Looks like there'll be a periodic blocking pattern here, and what that could lead to is some colder normal conditions for the eastern United States here, at least for out a good chunk, at least for mid to late November as well. So for snow lovers for the eastern United States, colder normal temperatures could certainly be coming for you guys here for late November. Certainly an early winter here seems likely for the eastern United States as well. But anyways, guys, that's all for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, leave the comment section down below. I answer you guys questions. And I see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.